Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is taken from a normal game, and wow, some pretty good competition in this game. It's, I think, 3 Diamond players and 2 Masters players in this game. Not bad for a normal game. In any case though, in this game we're going to be looking at one of the team compositions I was trying to feature in the most recent patch, something that's kind of come to light, and that is basically a Guild plus Deja team composition. So I talked a little bit about this in the last video that I posted for Teamfight Tactics, but since this patch came out, it's become pretty clear that playing straight Mirage is kind of inferior to playing a version of Mirage that doesn't really emphasize the Mirage trait as much, but instead plays more heavily into the Guild trait, but then also runs Deja as kind of one of the main carries in the team composition. So it's basically Guild plus Deja. This is similar to the Guild plus Xayah board that used to be popular, and you can still run Xayah with this as well. It's just that it seems to be a little bit better with Deja. So you're basically playing the Guild units. So that would be Sejuani and Twitch, and then eventually into Zippy and Jace, and Bard if you can get it, of course. But you play Zippy as kind of your mid-game carry, and then Deja kind of becomes your late-game carry. And there's actually some pretty good synergy. You can play Nunu to get Cavalier plus Mirage. It'll take you to Mirage 4 with Deja, because Deja provides 3 ranks in Mirage. Nunu gives you +1, and then that also provides a rank of Cavalier. And then you also can get more value if you get like additional Cavalier emblems, that sort of thing. So I've been trying to play that in a number of different games. I have had some success with it. I've actually done very well in my normal games here in the patch. But this opening was pretty interesting as well. So oftentimes I often try to use Ezreal as the item holder for Deja, in part because they share a very similar itemization. You can put Rageblade on Ezreal and it's a good item. You can put Archangel Staff on Ezreal and it's a good item, etc. But this game decided to give me a Dragonmancer opener, like as much of a Dragonmancer opener as you would ever want to play. It gave me a Volibear, it gave me a Lee Sin, it gave me 2 sets, and it gave me 2 Karmas. I was like, I guess I'm going to play a Dragonmancer opener here in this game, and I'm going to have Volibear be my item holder, specifically try to hold items for a Deja later on down the road. All right, so yeah, just playing 4 Dragonmancers here. I don't think that this is that amazing, but you know, if you just literally hit all the Dragonmancer units, well, why the heck not? I don't think I can play a better board than this. So a couple of the things I want to note. I took a bow off the starting carousel. This is a 2-item start. Instead of the 3-item start, which means I've gotten more champions, but I've only gotten 1 other item. The good news is that 1 other item component is something I can use perfectly. It was a rod, and rod plus bow means Rageblade, which has been a very, very good item for the entirety of set 7. And that's no different here. I'm going to want a Rageblade on Deja if I play that unit later on, so I'm happy to make that right now. Who is the best item holder for this? Well, out of the various different Dragonmancers that I have, Volibear is the best user of this. Now, if I had gotten like a Jeweled Gauntlet, then it would be better to put it on Lee Sin and make Lee Sin the Dragonmancer unit. But Lee Sin typically plays through, like, i.e. Infinity Edge plus Jeweled Gauntlet, plays through the whole notion of like getting big crits. And that is not what I have here. I have a sustained damage over time item, which is what Rageblade is. Infinity Edge Jeweled Gauntlet is big burst up front. Rageblade is sustained over time damage. And so who is better at sustained over time damage? It's Volibear out of these 4 units that I have here. Voli's ability, if you have not seen Volibear before, and he really hasn't been played much as a carry in set 7.5, basically, well, I have the official item, the official champion descriptor. I might as well just read that as opposed to trying to do it from memory. All right, here we go. Volibear, Relentless Storm is the ability name. Volibear rages, gains bonus health for the rest of combat. Every 3rd attack deals bonus magic damage and magic damage to additional enemies. So basically he has to fill up his mana bar. When that happens, he transforms, he gets extra health. He applies additional magic damage on auto attacks, and every 3rd attack shoots out lightning that hits all the targets nearby. This is similar to how his ultimate works in, or how at least his old ultimate worked in League of Legends. I don't know if they've changed his ultimate in the actual League of Legends, but it used to work that way. So yep, he basically, you know, charges up, auto attacks, and he gets auto attack procs. By the way, here nothing has happened to your game. This is me alt tabbing out of the screen because I was trying to look up something on the other. I was trying to look up something, and I'm on my laptop here. So when I tab out of the screen, you no longer are able to see the footage being recorded. Again, Riot, please give us actual replays for Teamfight Tactics. All right, anyway, so I mentioned this. I'm playing this Dragonmancer opener, and I think Volley is the best unit I can play for the time being. He'll fall off eventually, but I'm hoping to transition out of that and into this Guild plus Deja team composition. Now, one other thing I need to highlight is I have taken Thrill of the Hunt as my first augment. And I've said before, I really don't like Thrill of the Hunt that much as an augment. As I said before, Thrill of the Hunt is really a win more augment. If you're already winning the fights, it means you win harder. But if you're losing the fight, it doesn't really do much to turn them around. Remember, Thrill of the Hunt is when your units get kills, they heal for a certain amount of health. So I have gold Thrill of the Hunt here. I believe it's 700 HP healed on kill. Thrill also tends to be better early game and then falls off late game. Now, that said, I actually do think Thrill of the Hunt is a pretty good fit for what I'm running here because I am running through like one super unit, which is what Dragonmancer generally does. You make one unit the Dragonmancer hero, and then they become like a super unit, and then you're just kind of playing through that one unit. In a setup like that, Thrill of the Hunt's actually very good, and that's where it shines the most, is when you're playing through like one super carry. So if you've noticed in these fights, as Volibear kills things, like his Arcing Lightning means he's going to get most of the kills in these fights, and every time he does, he heals for 700. So it's actually a very good fit for the Dragonmancer setup that I'm running here. It will fall off as the game goes on, so it's not going to be as strong in the later portions of the game, but if I can take an augment that lets me win streak through like much of stage 2 and stage 3, that's not such a bad thing. So I should be able to get pretty good value out of this augment. And then later on in the game, okay, it's not going to be that great, but it will still hopefully have at least some value down the road. Anyway, so I am trying right now to build items that will later go on Zippy or items that will go on Deja. Unfortunately, there's not really any of either of them that I could see. I guess I could have taken a glove. That was probably the best thing I could do because a glove could be Jeweled Gauntlet. A glove could also be Infinity Edge. Infinity Edge is a pretty key item on Zippy, which we'll talk about later on when we get to the point where Zippy actually shows up in the team composition. So I guess I could have taken the glove, but you know, without something to combine it with, I decided I would just take the belt, which is just a generic frontline item. This could be Warmogs, this could be Sunfire Cape, this could be even a Zephyr. Zephyr actually has gone up in priority a fair bit here in this portion of set 7.5 because the late game boards that people are playing into tend to be dragon-based boards more. They really have increased the power of the dragon trait, so there's more incentive to play heavily into dragons in the late game. And Zephyrs are actually really good against dragon boards because what do dragon boards play? They play very few units. Like if you're playing 4 dragons, you probably only have 4 or 5 units on the board, so the value of a Zephyr goes up very, very much. That said, I still would prefer not to make a Zephyr in the early game. Zephyr's more of a late game item to make. So, yeah. And by the way, there is Nomsy. I was like, why couldn't you be Zippy in this game? And then there's a Neela. I was like, why couldn't you be something like Jace? So these are not quite the units I want. That Neela also could have been a Deja as well, which would have been a bit nice, but oh well, beggars can't be choosers. These are not the units that I'm particularly looking for. As far as what the rest of the lobby is playing, the lobby is very, very heavy on people playing either Lagoon boards or they're playing Astral boards, or you might notice there's a number of people playing Mirage boards early, and there's a reason for that, and that is because the Mirage trait this game is the Pirates trait. That is the one that provides no in-combat benefit, but does provide additional gold. You get the little gold chest after every round. So you are seeing more people playing heavily into economic traits here. That's in part because we've got a bit tougher lobby than I often see in my normal games. And that's because people are just playing heavily into econ. All right, so this fight's pretty close. Volibear apparently does not get any of the kills. He did not get any Thrill of the Hunt heals. But I am able to win, even though that person went to level 6. So I was like, oh, thank goodness. That person went all the way to level 6, I guess in the hopes of getting off to a win streak. But it didn't work. And so now they're actually in quite a bit of trouble because they were not able to maintain win streak. And they went to level 6, and now they are down to 0 gold, which is not the place you want to be. So they basically gambled that they could win by going to level 6, and it didn't work. They may also have been trying to play 6 Lagoon units. I saw that they had 6 Lagoon in, and maybe that was the thinking. But as I said, really did not work out for them, and I was quite pleased with that. Again, because my board only has one 2-star unit on it. It does have the Karma, but that said, it has been kind of a high roll game because I did hit the Lee Sin and the Volibear from the very beginning of the game. You would not normally have that many units at the start of the game, so I certainly can't complain about that. 5 matches, 5 wins. We're off to a great start. And I even managed to hit 2-star Sejuani, so now I know who the next unit in is going to be. Next unit in is going to be Sejuani. All right, I also get a sword and a bow. That's good. These are kind of the items I want to see, and then I'm going to hit 2-star set. This does matter because each additional rank of your Dragonmancer units does increase the strength of the Dragonmancer hero. Now, would it be better if those were Volibears? Yes, definitely. but it does actually increase the strength of Volibear by getting more star levels on the other Dragonmancers. Just as a quick refresher on this trait, we're going to be dropping it soon, but Dragonmancer allows you to pick one unit out as the Dragonmancer hero. They get additional health and additional ability power. Then it increases by 20% per star level of your Dragonmancers. So we currently have, 6 star levels of Dragonmancers, 2 from Karma, 2 from Set, 1 from Volibear, 1 from the Lee Sin. So we are getting some additional star levels there. I am, of course, going to level to 6 here because I want to try to maintain win streak. I also am still 30 gold, which is not bad. Again, I got off to a little bit better econ start than normal because I only had the 2-item start as opposed to the normal 3-item start. You always get a little bit more gold when you have the 2-item start. So I always tend to like the 2-item start. I know some people don't like it because you are missing out on the power spike of that additional item. All right, here, this is a silver augment. There's nothing I really want that much. I'm going to take the electro charge, which is just kind of like a generic strong augment. But then, oh, hello, we've got a Deja in the store. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and look to play this Deja. So I'm going to look to try to convert my board over here. So I'm going to have to sell the Volibear to take these items out. And then at that point, there's not really much need to keep playing these Dragonmancer units. Like, they're not really doing anything. So we definitely want to get Nunu on the board because Nunu is going to allow me to get Nunu's going to allow me to get up to Mirage 4, and that's significant because it means I'm going to get more value out of the chests, out of the Mirage pirate chest that I'm getting. That said, I have pretty clearly made my board weaker by doing this transition. Like, I do not think my board is as strong as it was before because remember, Mirage Straight does no in-combat value. It's just going to give me a pirate chest after each round of combat. So I've pretty clearly weakened my board by doing this, but I do want to get Mirage Straight in because it's going to start feeding me additional income in a way that I wasn't going to get by running the Dragonmancer setup. And I think I'm strong enough that, like, these shouldn't be bad losses. Hopefully Thrall the Hunt can also help me out here. I'm like, come on, Twitch, can you get that kill on the Jax to heal? Nope, we're going to get the heal on Deja instead. And can we kill another unit to get Thrall the Hunt value? No, unfortunately we're not. So, like, that's a loss, but again, it's not a terribly bad loss. And again, I'm content with doing this, so I'm going to look to trade some health for some econ here. And then I'm going to look to continue building towards the Guild plus Deja setup. So I'm really looking for Zippy right now. I've gotten 2 Nomsies, but no Zippy. So I was like, But I get 4 gold there, which is pretty nice. Not bad. There was the question here of what unit do I play? Do I play the Karma? Do I play the Set? Well, the answer is play neither of these units. The answer is there's a Varus in the store, so we're going to look to play Varus to pick up Swift Shot trait. I'm also going to try to position, I know that some people are playing Zyras. I'm going to try to avoid having too many units on that back row, although I think I still have too many on the back row by having both Varus and Deja on the back row. Deja is going to ramp up over the course of these fights, but again, Deja is just relying on her base stats because she has basically an empty trait. Mirage, again, just provides the pirate chest, and that's not nothing. We got 4 gold at the end of that last round. That's a lot of money to get 4 gold. I believe you do have the chance to get item components out of Mirage 4, although I think it's like 5% odds or something like that. So yeah, we are definitely going to be making some money, but our board strength is going to be a little bit weaker until we can get more units in. I was like, oh, Throw the Hunt. Oh, Deja, you fired at Talia. If she had fired at the Kaisa, I think I actually win that fight because I would have killed the Kaisa, healed, killed the Lee Sin, healed. I think that Deja actually wins that via Thrill of the Hunt, but fired at the wrong unit, unfortunately. Ah, well. Okay, so we've lost those rounds. As I said, I'm trading some economy here in exchange for, excuse me, trading some health here in exchange for economy. I'm now 3rd pick on the carousel. So ideally, I'd like to get some more Deja items right here, but there's not really anything that I want that badly for Deja. So I was like, all right, out of these options, I'm going to go ahead and take the glove. And the glove is going to be good for an Infinity Edge that I can put on Zippy. So I'm going to look to do that. I also have this extra bow, but I kind of would like to use the bows maybe for a Titan's Resolve on Zippy as well, since that's also a very good item on Zippy. And, oh, by the way, we're going to hit Twitch 2-star, so that's kind of nice here. And we get another chest with 3 gold. So again, we're making the money. That's not really in question here. The issue is more, can we now find the units to make our board stronger? And hey, I've got the extra bow. Varus is going to be sold as soon as we find Zippy, so we can just stuff this on Varus and keep going. Now, there is the option to level 7 right here. It's not much. It's only 8 gold to level to 7, but, like, I'm not on a win streak right now, so I think it's actually better just to chill here, not level, stay at 50 gold, probably lose this round, and then lose like another 8 or so health, but then be on a three match losing streak. and that'll give us a little bit more money going into the minion stage. So we're actually doing quite well in terms of economy. And then we just need to work, as I said before, on improving board strength. But hey, maybe we get lucky with Throw the Hunt procs and actually win this fight. I mean, it could happen. There's always a fair bit of luck, but there's a Morello's on that Volibear. So yeah, that's going to cut into the healing. And that means we're not going to be able to win this. But that's all expected. As I said, I was expecting to lose that round. Is that I lose about another, I think it was about 8 health, just as I said. So we have lost 24 health. I think it was 8, 8, and 8 over the last 3 rounds. And so, you know, that's not good. You never want to be losing health, but I don't think this is terrible. Now I'm going to be level 7, and I think my plan was to roll here. Yeah, I'm actually going to roll and see if I can try to find Zippy, because that's the unit I need. I also want to see what the Shimmer Scale item is. It's Needlessly Big Gem. I was like, I don't think that's quite what I'm looking for here. And then I was like, ooh, I don't think I want to play Idis here, so I'll just keep rolling. And I was like, what do I play here? Oh, I actually should play the Ezreal here so I can get another rank of Swift Shot. I also have this extra Twitch. I've already made Twitch 2-star. So my board is not really what I'm looking for right now. I was already looking to roll there, but I did not find the units I was looking for. So I would like to 2-star Nunu. His frontline is kind of my weakness right now. I really could use an improved setup for frontline. And then I really need to find Zippy. Oof. Also, Zyra, the backline Zyra, really punching through and hitting me here. So can we maybe Thrill the Hunt our way through this fight? We are going to have Deja keep getting heals. Come on, can we kill the Vlad for a heal? There we go. Can we kill the Namzi for a heal? There we go. So yeah, Thrill the Hunt. Sometimes Thrill the Hunt will do that. As I said, it's not reliable, but sometimes Thrill will do that. And so we end up winning a round that we really probably should not have won. But it may have actually been better to lose that round to carry the loss streak through. But oh, look at all that money we're going to get. So now I'm going to roll, and oh, there's a Zippy. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to go ahead, put in the Zippy. We're going to make the Infinity Edge, and then we'll see what this bow can turn into as well. And then my plan is actually, I think, to keep rolling here until I can either 2-star Zippy or 2-star Deja, because Pirate Trait does not provide in-combat advantage, right? So what you need to do if you want to do well when the Mirage trait is Pirate is you really want to put that gold towards rerolls and improving your board strength to overcome the fact, oh, I should have picked up that Zaya. That's a unit I could have played. All right, there is another Nunu. There is a Jace. Now, can we find one more Zippy here or another Deja? There's a Zaya. I'm picking that up because that's a possibility to play as well if I see a lot of them. There's 2-star Nunu, but can I get one more Zippy? I'm at 2 out of 3 Zippies here. I'm going to go ahead and put these items down. I'm still hoping to make a Titan's Resolve. There we go. All right, so there's the Zippy. So now I can sell this, and now we'll be able to play through Zippy in the mid-game. So I go all the way down to 20 gold here, but, you know, when you're playing the Pirate Mirage, this is the way that you want to play things. You want to be aggressive about spending that gold, because if you just let the gold sit there in your bank and not do anything with it, it's not going to be particularly valuable. Now, there is an alternate way to play the Pirate Mirage, and that is to try to fast 9 as quickly as possible. You just accept that you're going to lose a whole bunch of rounds, and then try to get to level 9 as quickly as possible, and then rely on winning rounds at level 9. So that's also another possibility. That is a much riskier possibility. I do not personally like that plan, because I am usually trying to play to top 4, not to play to win the lobby. So I actually end up losing that round. It's super duper close, and it's a bit unfortunate, but that one was close. And here I get another augment. For the last option, I'm going to take Component Grab Bag here. I'm actually close to making a couple of different items, so I think that this will help me quite a bit. By the way, there's another Deja in the store, so that's feeling pretty good. All right, so what are we going to get here? Oh, look at this. We've got a tier, and we have a glove, so that'll make Hand of Justice. Excellent. Go ahead and make this. And then the cloak I don't really have a use for at the moment, but we can stuff this on Nunu. Was able to make a Warmogs on Nunu, so that's not bad. Now we want to get to level 8 so we can look to play Jace. And then after we get to 8, we can decide, do we want to stay at 8 and try to 3-star like the Zippy? Or do we want to push to level 9 and then try to play Bard? And like those are the two big options there. But Component Grab Bag helped out quite a bit because I was able to make that Hand of Justice. And now I have some of Zippy's best items. It seems as though Zippy's best items are Infinity Edge, Hand of Justice, and Titan's Resolve. Of course, you can build a lot of other stuff, but like he does seem to do very well when he has those 3 units. So let's take this opportunity to talk a little bit more about how Zippy works, and then it'll maybe make sense why these items are pretty good on him. Zippy really started to pop up in the last patch. You started to see people playing Zippy more, and in this patch, he's actually pretty strong, especially in the mid game. Now, as a dragon at the 3 cost tier, he does fall off in the late game. But stage 3, stage 4, even into stage 5, Zippy is quite a strong unit. and he's especially strong at deleting backline carries due to the way that his ability works. I will once again just sit here and read his ability description. So Zippy is the Guild Dragon. His ability is Somersault Assault. Nice little alliteration there. Zippy shields himself for 2 seconds, somersaults towards the highest percentage health enemy, deals physical damage, and knocks them back slightly. So keep that in mind. Zippy's a melee carry, deals physical damage, AD, so you want AD items on him, like I'm building here. His targeting is he targets highest percentage health enemy. So he's like Heimerdinger from the first half of set 7. Always go after highest percentage health enemy. This usually means that he will target the backline, because typically backliners are have the highest percentage health. They'll be sitting at like 100% health or close to it. By the way, this person ends up quitting the lobby, so I don't know what happened there. Maybe they weren't hitting or something, but they actually were holding some Deja, so I was pretty happy to see them leave. Anyway, so Zippy will go ahead and will target the back lines in most fights. And when he jumps into the back lines, he will hit for a percentage of his max AD. I'll just read what it is. The current numbers are 400% of attack damage at 1 star, 425 at 2 star. And that's barely an increase at all. 400 to 425, interesting. And then at 3 star, it's a big jump to 600% of attack damage. And then he gets a shield as well. And the shield amount also, of course, goes up as he increases the star level. All right, well, we've got a carousel here, so I'll get back to Zippy in a minute. Note that I'm now tops on health here. There's actually some interesting stuff here. There is actually a bard on the carousel, which would be quite nice for me. I would not mind getting that unit whatsoever, because then I could just play bard, and then I would probably rush to level 9 if I could look to get the bard. And it is still there on the carousel, but I'm last pick by winning these last couple rounds. It's like, come on, bard. I'd really like this unit. And, gets snapped up. I was like, all right, I guess I'll just take this and put it on Nunu, I suppose. I maybe should have taken the rod and just made a death cap on Deja, although I wouldn't mind holding that rod for something else. By the way, there is the pirate chest continuing to feed me additional income. So, like, that wasn't bad, but, like, I definitely would have preferred to see if I could get the bard and toss him in, because the mana generation from bard's guild ability is quite nice. Anyway, the bow left over on Zippy, I'm hoping that that'll be Titan's Resolve. That's just like another item that makes him tankier, also gives him some additional damage. So it's a good all-around item. But based on the fact that he deals damage that's so heavily based on percent of his max AD, this is why the Infinity Edge is such a nice item on him. Infinity Edge means that his physical damage on his ability is going to crit. So like he is probably going to target the Xayah here, boop, right into the back lines. And then look, he just deletes the Xayah. Zippy is really good against backline carries. That is the strength of this unit. He's very good at getting into the backlines and deleting squishy carries. A little bit like an assassin in some ways. He is obviously not an assassin, but he kind of plays like one in some regards. So like that person probably felt like their board was really strong. They had a 2-star Xayah, but Zippy says, I don't care about your 2-star Xayah. I'm just going to hop in the backline and delete you. So the Infinity Edge, again, scales off the fact that he deals so much damage based off a percentage of max AD. Right now it's, what is it, 425% of his max AD. The Infinity Edge then means that that damage is going to crit, because I believe the Infinity Edge means that you always crit on your physical damage, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that the Infinity Edge makes it so your attacks always crit. And then in addition to that, you pair that with the Hand of Justice, because Hand of Justice then means that you get even more crit chance, which translates into crit damage via Infinity Edge. And it also means that he heals off some of the damage dealt. And that's very important because Zippy needs some healing. This is why Hand of Justice generally preferred on him over Bloodthirster. It's not that Bloodthirster is bad, but there's really good synergy between Infinity Edge plus Hand of Justice. They both build out of those gloves. They both have the crit chance on them. Look at Zippy just deleting the backline. And the other reason is he doesn't really need a Bloodthirster because he innately gets shielding every time he uses his ability. The big draw of Bloodthirster is you get a shield when the unit that is carrying it takes damage. And I think it's when they get down to like below half health, they get a shield based on percentage of max HP. He doesn't really need that because every time that he uses his ability, he gets a shield. So he like innately is shielding himself constantly anyway. And that means you can go for the Hand of Justice. And then like last item's more flexible. But like here, we've got some good setups here. I can go ahead and take this and I can use it for... I can go ahead and take this and that'll get me a Titan's Resolve. Again, we'll make him tankier, gives him some additional attack damage. And of course, he's going to be getting some additional stats from the guild trait because I'm building heavily into vertical guild here. That's going to provide some extra stuff. I can put this on Deja for a Rage Blade, and then I've got a leftover bow, which is kind of like I can put this on wherever. I also have a Quicksilver Sash. I don't really need this. I decided I would reforge it, but oof. That's not what I was looking for. I get a Deathblade. Deathblade actually pretty good on Zippy. I would not have minded that as his third item over the Titans. It would mean he would hit even harder. But yeah, I don't really have anyone who can use that. Jace wants mostly... Jace does magic damage, not physical damage. So there's not much usefulness to put the Deathblade on him. And so at this point, I'm trying to roll for 2-star Deja. I was hoping that I could hit 2-star Deja and then maybe I could look to go level 9. But unfortunately, I do not manage to hit the 2-star Deja. And Deja's itemization is a little bit sketchy here. I really would like a third item there, but can't quite get it. So I'm kind of playing through the Zippy right now. I need Zippy to get into the back lines of these units and start killing these. And he's doing a pretty good job. He's hitting all the mages in the back lines. Boop! And again, kills the whole back line and gets really good value out of the Thrill of the Hunt here too. Yeah, that fight was not looking too good, but Zippy's zipping. And he's able to win that fight for us. Yeah, a fight that I really did not think I was going to win. All right, so again, I want to keep rolling here until I can at least hit Deja 2-star. That's very important. All right, so now we do hit Deja 2-star. So now we have a decision to make. Do we want to try to go to level 9 and play Bard, or do we want to try to stay here at level 8 and try to roll for Zippy 3-star? And it's going to depend on the rest of the lobby. So I'm like looking around, I was like, is anyone else playing Zippy? Like, are there Zippies out of the pool right now? It always sounds funny saying that. Zippy has such a stupid name for a dragon. It's like, are there any Zippies out of the pool? And the answer is there's not really that many Zippies out of the pool. I don't think anyone else is playing Zippy in this lobby. But I see teams like this. This person's trying to play the Seraphine Clump, which is what I've called this team, where it's like Seraphine plus Graves plus Pantheon and all the units clumped together. And this comp got nerfed very heavily in the most recent patch because they nerfed Seraphine and they nerfed Zyra, and those were some of the key units in that comp. So we're actually able to punch through this comp pretty easily. This comp has also taken a lot of the 3-cost units out of the pool. Look, they've taken, I think they have 7 Zeres out. I think they have 6 Seraphines or 5 Seraphines. So it's a number of the 3-cost units out of the pool, and no one's playing Zippy. So I was starting to lean towards probably rolling for Zippy 3-star. By the way, here we actually get another item out of the chest. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, we can go ahead and make Rage Blade on Jace. That's not bad. I mean, it's not a great item on Jace, but it's better than just having the random bow, so we might as well make use of that. Jace's itemization tends to be tanky plus AP is kind of the way to go with him. So I wouldn't say Rage Blade's one of his better items, but what else am I going to do with that rod, right? It's just a random component at a point in time where all the carousels give fully completed items. Like, I would rather make Ionic Spark on Nunu there, but, you know, I already made the Dragon's Cloak, so I can't do too much about that. Anyway, we're on a nice 6-match winning streak here. However, we're coming up against people that are playing their late game boards. This person's made 2-star Alshin, so my only real hope here is that Zippy deletes this Alshin, but I'm not optimistic. Yeah, Zippy ends up targeting Terra instead, and once that happens, it's like, yeah, that's probably not going to work here. So can we kill any more units here? And no. This is what tends to happen. This is a board that's very strong in the mid game. This board does fall off in the late game unless you can get into Bard and unless you can get into maybe 3-star Zippy. So it does fall off as the game goes on. As I said, it's stronger mid game than in late game. All right, so we've got another item carousel here. There's actually a lot of stuff I'd like here. I would really, really like this Jeweled Gauntlet, but gets snapped up. So my real choices are, do I want like an Ionic Spark for Nunu? Do I want a Gunblade for Deja? And I decided I would just take another Death Cap. This will make Deja hit very, very hard. Again, would have been much better to get the Jeweled Gauntlet. Because I already have a Death Cap, the Jeweled Gauntlet would have been much better because it would have amplified the damage from the Death Cap that was already on that unit. But beggars can't be choosers. I've got to go with what's actually on the carousel. And so I go ahead and take the Death Cap. And so now we have double Death Cap, which is a little bit silly. Again, it'd be much better to have something else that amplifies damage over just 2 Death Caps, something that gives me crit chance on Deja or whatever. But you got to take what's on the carousel. So, hey, Deja's got a lot of AP, and that's not terrible. And we do at least have one item to give Deja some additional attack speed. All right, so we are once again up against a Xayah board. And again, note Zippy. Zippy immediately targets the Twitch, deletes the Twitch, then targets the Bard, goes F the Bard. Oh, unfortunately does not survive there. I was like, that was close. It was a close fight. But Zippy did not target Xayah. for whatever reason, Xayah had taken some damage, I think, from Deja. If we had targeted the Xayah with Zippy, then I'm pretty sure I win that fight. But hey, they've got a Shyvana in there, so their board is starting to spike. By the way, there's an Al Shin, so one thing you can potentially do is look to replace the... you can look to replace the Deja with an Al Shin later on. But oh, look at this. I actually get a loaded dice. I was like, oh, there's Zippies in the store and there's loaded dice. Well, now I'm just going to roll for the Zippy 3-star. And I actually hit it. So I was like, wow, I got the Zippy 3-star very, very fast. So this is Pirate Mirage doing good stuff. Again, we get no in-combat value, but we are able to get enough gold that we can keep rolling. And then the loaded dice pops out, which, again, I think is like a 5% odds or 2% odds or something like that. Get the loaded dice. I use it on Zippy. Zippy's only traits are Dragon and Guild, so we had very good odds to find more Zippies there. And we get 2 in the shop, and then I'm able to roll for the last one. And so Zippy 3-star. Let's go, Zippy. So now Zippy is definitely the main carry, and my board has spiked pretty hard on the 3-star Zippy here. So this is kind of in some ways like a weird game to be assessing the value of this comp because we've got the pirate trait. Oh, by the way, now I don't need the Nunus. I was holding them because by holding Nunus, it made it easier for me to try and hit the Zippy 3-star. But now that I have Zippy 3-star, that's not going to be that difficult. Now I don't have to worry about trying to hit 3-star units or 3-cost units anymore, excuse me. So now we want to go to level 9 and play Bard, and Bard is going to be nice because he'll get us to Guild 7, will increase the guild benefit from all of these different units, and give us extra mana generation just by virtue of him being on the board. So I need a little bit longer to get there. So Sejuani provides health, Twitch provides attack speed, Zippy is armor and magic resistance, Jace is attack damage and ability power, and then Bard will be mana per attack. And we get like triple the benefit on all the guild units because of we're getting like 180% of the guild value. There is a Terra in the store, and I'm going to pick up the Terra because one possibility is when I go to level 9, I want to put Bard in, but I could also potentially replace my front line with Terra. Like I could take out Nunu, I could take out Sejuani long term, I could replace that with Terra. I would want Terra to be 2-starred in order to do that, but you know, like Warmogs plus the Dragon's Cloak, if I could get like a Gargoyle Stoneplate or a Bramble Vest to add to that, and then I put like a 2-star Terra, that's going to be way stronger than Sejuani plus Nunu frontline. I also don't really need the Pirate Mirage anymore. It's kind of like run past its usefulness. All right, anyway, we're up against the 2-star Al Shin again, and the question is, can he wipe the board with us? And the answer is no. And so Zippy's going to hop on the unit and just beaks him to death. And so that's going to be enough to win this fight and knock out that player who had a very strong Dragon board. But not strong enough. Not strong enough to deal with 3-star Zippy. So yeah, that that's not a team comp that was able to deal with the power of the Zipster back there. All right, so now we've got that Xayah board again. I'm guaranteed to be up against the Xayah player. So again, this is a team comp that Zippy does really well against because Zippy's going to target the back line. There's not really a good way to protect that Xayah, and he's going to target that Xayah sooner or later. And hopefully he'll do enough damage now that he's 3-starred that he can just pop the Xayah right away. But he's going to focus the back line because they're going to be the ones not taking damage. So, all right, how is he going to do against this? Who does he go after first? Does he go after Twitch or does he go after Xayah? Let's see. Come on, Zippy. I need you to kill those backliners. And, oh, down goes the Bard. And then he's right on top of the Xayah. Well, actually, no, he's killing the Rakan. And, oh, he goes over and kills the Twitch. Zippy, come on. You got to hit the Xayah, bud. Come on. There we go. He just one-shots the Xayah. What a frustrating way to die. That was actually a ghost round, and the other player knocked that player out. But it was like, oh, what a frustrating way to die, getting Zippy to death like that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to level 9 now and put in Bard because I'm just up against this other player. One other person in the lobby, so we're guaranteed to hit each other each round. They have also hit level 9. And they're running another board that has become very, very popular in this patch. It is a Jade plus Whispers comp, and it's basically a comp that plays through Shi-Ou plus Siphon. Both of them melee dragons, both of them with very similar itemization. And you basically get the combination of Jade statues for extra attack speed and healing. And then you also get Whispers to do all the shredding of armor and magic resistance. So I honestly haven't seen this comp in a little while. I did not really know how my board was going to do against this one. I honestly was not sure how our two comps stacked up against one another. But oof, Siphon gets on the back line and kills Deja. That is not what I want. And Zippy now looks like Zippy's getting bursted down too. Oh, Zippy, I need you to focus down the weak units. But oh wait, Zippy never focuses down weak units. Zippy always goes for the highest health target. And that's not great when you're dealing with targets that Zippy can't one-shot. because they're very, very tanky innately. That's not quite what I was looking for there. In any case, though, we get an item carousel here, and there's not really anything I want that badly, for better or for worse. They're going to end up taking a Bard. I think they just wanted to play Bard, if I remember correctly, for their board. So, all right, now I'm just going to roll. I'm looking for 2-star Bard, and again, I said if I could replace the... Oh, I actually get an item component here, so that's a little bit... I can't really do anything with that, unfortunately. If I could get a 2-star Terra, I would look to replace my front line, so I'm going to look for that. Looking for more Bards. Well, not seeing a lot of Bards here. And there is an Al Shin, but I don't think I can really do all that much with that. So let's go ahead, put this item on here. They hit 2-star Pantheon. And I make a big mistake. I got beaten pretty badly with this positioning last time. Well, they didn't change their positioning. I didn't change my positioning. I was like, whoops. Right as the round is starting, I was like, oh, I needed to put Deja on the other side, didn't I? Because Siphon is just charging right over to Deja, and Xiaoyu is right over there too. And I need Deja in these fights because Zippy does not really kill things. He can only one-shot like backliners, but he's very bad against tanks. And this is not looking so great here, guys. So as it turns out, this is just not really a good matchup for this comp that I am playing. As I've said before, Zippy is very good at deleting backline carries. Zippy is not very good at a team composition that plays through super tanky bruisers. So Siphon, Xiaoyu, Pantheon, Jace, the whole team is very tanky. So Zippy cannot really kill any of the units over there. And if he can't one-shot them with his damage, then he's in a lot of trouble. So anyway, I'm going to shift Deja over to the right-hand side. The other player suggests frontlining Jace, but that wouldn't really make much of a difference. Jace, if you're watching these fights, Jace just immediately jumps to the front line anyway, so he pretty much is on the front lines instantly. Doesn't really matter whether he's in the front line or the back lines. This fight's going a little bit better. Zippy's taking out some of these units, but this team comp is just too tanky. Zippy cannot burst through these units. They are too much tankiness, too little inability to get resets. Oh, can we kill the Xiaoyu? It's low, but a little bit short. So yeah, sorry if you're expecting a miraculous finish here for me to turn it around and win the last couple rounds. No, that does not happen in this game. As I said, that was a bad matchup for me, just as the Xayah comp was a good matchup for me. So there's some team compositions that do well against other team compositions, and it turns out that that is a team that just the Zippy plus Deja does not do very well against. Also, keep in mind, it is Pirate Mirage, so Deja did not get any additional stats. That was also part of the factor. And that person had Beast Den plus Stand United, so some pretty good augments. Well, in any case, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this game. Wanted to show off this different team combination. Until then, take care, folks.